This classic meatball recipe includes 3 simple tips for some of the most delicious and tender meatballs you've ever had. The first important tip is using half pork and half beef. The pork will add plenty of fat, making sure the meatballs stay flavorful and juicy throughout the cooking process. In a large bowl, try to push the meat into a fairly flat layer so you can ensure it's seasoned evenly, sort of like a massive hamburger. Sprinkle over a big pinch of salt, several grinds of black pepper, and a 1/4 teaspoon each of garlic and onion powder. While the meat absorbs the seasoning, we'll start the tomato sauce. Dice 1 small yellow onion and begin sautéing that in 2 tablespoons of olive oil on medium-low heat. Add a big pinch of salt, and then after a few minutes, make room in the middle of the pan for 2 cloves of minced garlic and a pinch of red pepper flakes, before adding another teaspoon of oil to help release those flavors. Let the garlic get slightly golden before mixing everything together. Then add 1 large can of crushed tomatoes along with a half cup of water added back to the can. Stir that together and then toss in a big pinch of salt and pepper. Turn the heat all the way down to low so it can start to simmer while you prepare the meatballs. Next, crack 2 eggs and give them a whisk before adding a half cup of milk and a few dashes of hot sauce. Then drop in about a 1/4 cup of finely chopped Italian parsley and 1 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. And lastly, add 3/4 cup of breadcrumbs to the mixture. I like to use panko because they absorb everything very well, but you can also use regular plain breadcrumbs. Let that sit for a couple minutes so the breadcrumbs can soak up the liquid. And in the meantime, check on the sauce and give that a stir. Once the liquid has been absorbed, start folding the bread into the meat. And the second crucial tip for great meatballs is not overmixing. If you overwork it, they'll become dense. So you just want to combine until everything is incorporated, but it's fine if there are small pockets of just meat or bread, which will make for more interesting and rustic meatballs. And remember, the reason why meatballs were created in the first place was so people can make their meat last longer by adding bread. So I like when you can taste all the different components. This recipe will make for 10 solid-sized meatballs. I'm not a fan of when meatballs are too big because they can be harder to cook and eat. So halfway between a golf ball and a tennis ball is perfect. Dip your hands in a little bit of water so they don't stick, and grab a couple ounces of the mixture. Gently toss it back and forth, and then roll it in between your hands to form a ball. But once again, don't overpack them. Once all the balls are formed, we can move on to the third crucial step, which is searing them in olive oil first. This will get the outside golden brown for maximum flavor and seal in the inside so they stay juicy. In a large skillet on medium-high heat, begin searing them in about a tablespoon of olive oil. Let them cook for 3 to 4 minutes on the first side or until they're well browned. Then flip them over to the second side. After the second side sears for a few minutes as well, begin adding them directly to the sauce so they can braise and finish cooking. Don't be afraid to add the remaining oil from the pan right to the sauce so no flavor is left behind. Cover each meatball in a little bit of the tomato sauce and then simmer on low heat for about 15 minutes. Then carefully flip them over and let them finish on the second side for another 15. While the meatballs are braising, it's the perfect time to make your pasta, or of course they would make for some delicious subs. But these are so good, you could just have them by themselves with some extra sauce, parsley, and Parmesan cheese, along with a side of bread or roasted potatoes. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments, or which Italian-inspired dish you'd like to learn next. Thanks for watching.